Over the Thanksgiving long holiday weekend, New York State went into a state of emergency. The governor signing an order that would stop elective surgeries at short-staffed hospitals.
Now, this comes as ICU beds are quickly filling up across Syracuse's 3 major hospitals ahead of an expected spike in cases over the next month through the new year. Our team coverage begins with Connor White tonight. Connor.
Matt and Michael, rolling back the clock a little bit, according to the State Department of Health, if we go back to August, there were 412 acute staffed beds here at Upstate. That number is now down to 345. That's a drop in 67 in just 3 months. And those staffed beds aren't going to come back anytime soon unless they can get more staff in the door.
For 2 years, Syracuse's 4 main hospitals, Upstate, Upstate Community, St. Joe's, and Crouse, have had to constantly adapt to state mandates and COVID-19 numbers.
Their goal 24/7, 365 is to make sure that they have the essential services available for their community. They move staff and equipment around all the time to make sure that they can deliver on that promise.
B. Grouse is president of the Healthcare Association of New York State, watching dwindling staff numbers at Syracuse hospitals.
It is reflective of a national workforce shortage, resulting from both the pandemic, burnout related to the pandemic, but also because it's of an aging workforce and we have more healthcare professionals retiring.
According to the State Department of Health, as of Sunday, there were just 73 staffed acute care beds available across all 4 Syracuse hospitals. 900 of the 973 staffed beds, or about 92%, were in use.
They've shrunk their availability of staff beds because they don't have the staff.
Governor Hochul's executive order will limit non-urgent elective surgeries at hospitals that the DOH deems to be low capacity. Both Crouse and Upstate have already postponed certain elective procedures, and St. Joe says right now they don't believe they'll be impacted by the executive order. Also included in the governor's order is this line, saying the state of emergency will trigger the use of surge and flex systems and expand purchasing ability. Crouse says at the moment it's not clear what that means.
We're still waiting to learn what's going to happen next.
Crouse believes that the DOH will release that kind of guidance by Wednesday, tomorrow, or Thursday, hoping that hospitals will then have enough time to be in compliance by Friday. As it stands with those elective surgeries, again, St. Joe's doesn't believe there'll be an impact there based on their numbers. Upstate has postponed those kinds of surgeries since September, and Crouse did the same earlier this month.
For the first time tonight, we have a look at text messages and transcripts that reveal how involved CNN anchor Chris Cuomo was in managing the public relations nightmare around his brother, former Governor Andrew Cuomo, amid sexual harassment allegations. The texts were released along with new videos that show Andrew Cuomo's interrogation with investigators hired by the Attorney General's office. It also includes the interrogation of his top aide and testimony from many of Cuomo's accusers.
Really, pulled me in, and I remember his hand just sliding right up my blouse.
In one of the newly released videos, accuser Brittany Camiso describes the most serious allegation against Andrew Cuomo to date, that the former governor grabbed Camiso's breast in the executive mansion.
I didn't want to get in trouble because that's not what I was here for. I remember him shutting the door and coming back saying, "I don't care." At that moment, he was sexually driven.
That never happened.
It's an allegation that's resulted in a misdemeanor charge of forcible touching for Cuomo, one he adamantly denies ever happened in a new video of his interrogation with Attorney General investigators.
I would have to lose my mind to do such a thing. It would be an act of insanity to touch a woman's breast.
The videos released by the Attorney General's office Monday morning also include the video interrogation of former Secretary to the Governor, Melissa DeRosa, who was considered Cuomo's right hand.
Has the governor ever kissed you on the mouth?
No.
The release also included these text messages between DeRosa and the former governor's brother, CNN anchor Chris Cuomo, who's been scrutinized for managing the PR of his brother's sex scandal, despite his high-profile role as a journalist. Chris Cuomo texts DeRosa that a friend asked Alec Baldwin to defend Cuomo to cancel culture in the wake of the scandal, and scolded DeRosa after allegations from Camissa were published in the Albany Times-Union newspaper, writing, "Why didn't you tell him about potential ATU interview? We are making mistakes we can't afford."
Chris Cuomo has kept his job at CNN despite criticism his actions to protect his brother were inappropriate. CNN now says it's, quote, seeking additional clarity about how these transcripts and exhibits relate to the network. Andrew Cuomo is due in court in January on the misdemeanor charge of forcible touching.
Just like with many viruses, COVID-19 is mutating and different strains are being found around the world. Just last year, the coronavirus pandemic caused businesses to shut down, causing a major economic impact. But local residents and business owners I spoke with today do not believe that will happen again.
I walked around Syracuse today speaking with people in the community about how they think local leaders are handling the pandemic. Overall, the feedback was positive.
I would say the mayor's doing a great job due to the various vaccination and the information that's being put out right now.
I really believe in him. I believe we're doing pretty good. He's doing the best he can do.
JoJo Bogle drove up from Alabama this week for tomorrow's big game at the Dome. With the holidays here and traveling on the roads, Bogle and his family are doing everything they can to keep them from catching the virus.
Making sure we had sanitizer on us, and we used it every time we got in and out of our vehicles when we went in somewhere.
Local business owner Nicole Simolis is staying positive and does not believe the new variant will severely impact her business.
At this point, I don't foresee shutdowns again because nobody can afford to do shutdowns again.
And she has faith in county leaders to get us through the pandemic.
I think they've both done a tremendous job to date. Ryan's done a fabulous job. The mayor's done a great job as well. And so they've been keeping to communicate with us. If we have questions, we've been able to reach out to them for questions as well.
Syracuse Mayor Ben Walsh saying we have to trust the experts and learn to live with the virus, even as it mutates.
As long as we're in the pandemic, it's going to be a concern, and everyone's following the new variant. As long as we're in the pandemic, we're going to continue to see new variants, and we have to rely on science to tell us what the variants do differently, how they're impacted by the vaccine.
Officials continue to urge everyone to get vaccinated, get their booster shot, and continue taking other necessary precautions in order to combat COVID-19. The county executive is holding another COVID-19 briefing tomorrow at 1 p.m. We'll be following that briefing for you as well as any other information with this new variant.